Hello, 7th graders. This video is intended to review Unit 4 so that you can review for your very short test. So, introduction. Like I said, the Unit 4 test is very short, only 4 questions, so it is important that you do well on it. Just one wrong answer will drop your grade to a 75, and 2 wrong answers or more would cause you to have a failing grade. Okay, 2 wrong answers would give you a 50%, and it just goes down from there. So take notes and use them on the test. So if you need to, pause this video, get a sheet of paper or your study guide, and use your notes while you take your test. So your first question is going to be about Callisto. You are supposed to read this excerpt from Callisto in Bulfinch's mythology. And then you have to answer the question. So, do you ask why I, the queen of the gods, have left the heavenly plains and sought your depths? Learn that I am supplanted in heaven. My place is given to another. You will hardly believe me. But look when night darkens the world, and you shall see the two, of whom I have so much reason to complain, exalted to the heavens, in that part where the circle is the smallest, in the neighborhood of the pole. Why should anyone hereafter tremble at the thought of offending Juno, when such rewards are the consequence of my displeasure? I know that's a little difficult to understand, so we're going to talk about it. The question is going to be, what can you infer about Juno from this passage? So, in other words, what context clues can you find to tell you something about Juno? Does this passage tell you she's afraid of losing power? Because remember that she is the queen of the gods. So is she afraid of losing her power to someone else? Is she hard-hearted? So, in other words, is she just kind of nasty and doesn't care about other people? Does it say that in there? Does she have unrealistic expectations? Or does it show she's afraid of Jupiter? So if you look in the words, there isn't anything that tells that she's afraid of Jupiter, okay? Nothing in there is describing Jupiter. Okay, it doesn't talk about any expectations that she might have. So is she afraid of losing power here, or is she hard-hearted? Is she being nasty and not caring about other people? No, she's really afraid of herself losing power. When she says, when she's supplanted in heaven. So, in other words, when she is there, her place is given to another. So she is afraid of losing power there. Okay. So sometimes you can look at the passage and just, even if you don't understand the overall meaning, you can pick out some words in there to give you an idea of what the answer should be. Okay, on to Bulfinch's mythology overall. So you're supposed to read the following passage from the introduction to Bulfinch's mythology. In other words, the very beginning of the book that they introduce the whole book. It says, "We thus see that the Greeks of the early ages knew little of any real people except to those to the east and south of their own country, or near the coast of the Mediterranean." So what is that telling you? It's telling you that the Greeks, did they know a lot about the world? No, they knew little. That means they didn't know much, except to the people right around their own country. That's the only thing they knew of the world. So, which literary passage best reflects, or excuse me, which literary term best reflects this passage? Are they showing internal conflict here? The Greeks knew little of any real people? No. Is there, so Sorry, so there is no internal conflict. They're not talking about conflict at all. Okay, is there inferred meaning here? Are you having to guess what it means by context clues? No, you're not having to do that either. Are they talking about explicit meaning or historical context? Remember, explicit meaning means that they are telling you exactly what they want you to know out in plain language. And historical context means that they are giving you what is going on in history at the time so that you can understand the rest of the book. So they are giving a little bit of historical context, but mostly it's very explicit. They are telling you the Greeks didn't know much about the world at all. And so that's why they came up with this mythology. So it is explicit meaning. Let's go on. There's going to be one question about vocabulary. Which of the following is another term for schema? Okay, if you look over to the right, I took that definition of schema right out of the dictionary. Schema is a diagram, plan, or scheme. Schema can also be an underlying organizational pattern or structure, conceptual framework. So, do you think schema refers to metacognition? Remember, metacognition is thinking about your own thinking. Is that what schema is? Thinking about your own thinking. Is that a diagram, plan, or scheme? Is it inferential questioning? Is a diagram, plan, or scheme questioning something? Is it giving you background knowledge? Does a schema give you background knowledge, a plan, organizational pattern? Or is it explicit meaning? Does a schema give you explicit meaning? Yeah. If it is a diagram, plan, scheme, underlying organizational pattern, framework, that is all giving you background knowledge. So another term for schema is background knowledge. Okay, now you are going to have to write a paragraph on this test. The question is, compare Psyche's journey to immortality in Cupid and Psyche to the journey of the human soul. Okay, so that's pretty deep. Your answer should be at least 150 words. So remember that Psyche begins her journey as a mortal, meaning she is a regular human. Okay. She endures many hardships on her quest to be reunited with Cupid. Think of all the hardships that she endured on her journey to be reunited with Cupid. Then she undergoes an internal transformation. Think of what transforms her. And then she's granted immortality. Remember, immortality is the ability to live forever. So what you need to do is not copy what I have there. You need to put parts of this in your own words. You need to talk about the hardships that Psyche endured on her journey to be reunited with Cupid. And then you need to talk about what transformed Psyche before she was granted immortality. Okay? And think about how that relates to what some humans think about the afterlife. Okay, I want you to write a paragraph, one paragraph. That means that it should be 4 to 5 sentences. Okay, not just one sentence, not just 2 sentences. You need to make sure that you're comparing Cupid's journey to the human soul. Okay, so get some details of her hardships, what her internal transformation is, and then compare that to what goes on with the human soul, what some people believe happens in the afterlife, and you will be good. Okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know before you take this test. Okay? And since you are watching this video, you must call and talk to me. There are both of my phone numbers. Try both, please. If I'm not available at one, I should be available at the other. If I'm helping another student or in a meeting, leave a message, please. And not a text message. Leave a voice message on both phones so that I am able to get back to you. Sometimes I'm not in cell range for a few days, so I might not get your message on my cell phone, but I would get your message on my other phone. Okay? So good luck on the test, and I will talk to you later. Bye.